I started playing the cornet when I was 6 with the local village band, the Ellenbrook and Boostown Band. My mum used to work at the local school, and a letter was sent by the band to the school to see if any of the pupils would be interested in joining the band and learning an instrument. I joined the band and I received lessons off a couple of band members. After leaving Ellenbrook and Boostown Band, I joined the Walked-In Band, who at the time was conducted by Gordon Higginbottom, and then I progressed to Bessie's Boys Band on principal cornet in 1984. During this time, the band progressed from the 4th section up to the 2nd section, as well as winning the 4th section national finals. During this time, I also became principal cornet with the National Youth Brass Band of Great Britain, and the cornet tutor was David James. David James was the conductor of the Wingates Band, and a vacancy arose at Wingates on principal cornet. Due to my contact with David, he asked me would I be interested in joining the Wingates Band, which I accepted in 1990. At the National Youth Band, the euphonium tutor was Nicholas Childs, who at the time was the solo euphonium player with Foden's. In 1992, the principal cornet at the time, Martin Winter, had just got a job with the BBC orchestra on principal trumpet. Due to this, there was a vacancy on principal cornet at Foden's, and it was through contact with Nicholas Childs to Howard Snell, who asked if I would be interested in auditioning for the vacant seat. I attended an audition with Howard Snell at the Royal Northern College of Music at the end of 1991 and was offered principal cornet with Foden's in January 1992. During my time with the band, I've been privileged to have won every competition with Foden's, including numerous Opens, national finals, French, Swiss and American nationals, as well as numerous victories at the Northwest area, the All England Masters and other contests. I must say my favourite venue to perform in is the Royal Albert Hall. I think it's just due to the nature and the history of the building. I've always enjoyed being a member of the band. Bands often say they're like families. I firmly believe Foden's are. Over half of the band have been in the band for more than 15 years. A large number of us are originally from the Manchester area, but being in the band and keep travelling down to Sandbach, we all moved down to Sandbach. As well as the family connection, all our wives are friends with each other, the children are friends with each other, and this makes things a lot easier due to the busy nature of the band. When we're away with the bands, the wives get together and go out with the children. In relation to test pieces, I played a large number of test pieces over my career. Probably my favourite test piece would be Contest Music by Wilfred Heaton. It's got the famous cornet solo, with always a lot of debate about how long people have held the top C sharp for. Lots of memorable performances with Foden's. I really enjoy contest performances. In 2012, the band became the double champions, where we won the British Open and Nationals in the same year. The test pieces that year was Electra by Martin Ellaby, that was at the Open, and the Nationals test piece that year was Daphne's and Chloe, which was arranged by the band's former conductor Howard Snell, who was also an adjudicator at the competition. As well as playing in Foden's, I'm the current band manager. I'm responsible to the trustees and the vice presidents of the band, and I also work closely with the band committee. During my time as band manager, the band have successfully applied to funding from the Arts Council as well as the Heritage Lottery. We've had 5 successful applications, generating around about £200,000 of funding for the band to carry out a number of projects in the community, leaving legacies and maintaining the profile of Foden's in the wider musical world. During my time at Foden's, I've had the privilege of working under a number of leading conductors, including Howard Snell, Nicholas Childs, Michael Fowles, Gary Cutt, Russell Gray, Alan Withington, and it's always a pleasure for the band to be able to work with Banwell Tovey, as well as being one of the world's leading orchestral musicians, conductors. Banwell is also the president of Foden's. My first major job with Foden's was in 1992 at the Festival of Brass, where we had to perform 6 test pieces. Shortly after that, my most memorable performance with the band was in the May of 1992, when the band became the European champions. That was 30 years ago this year, and this year, 30 years later, we're looking forward to once again representing England at the European Brass Band Championships to be held at the Symphony Hall in Birmingham. Sadly, in 2016, the band suffered a serious fire at our then rehearsal premises at Flowcrete in Elworth. Sadly, the fire ripped through our rehearsal room, destroying the large majority of our equipment, and sadly we lost all our library. This consisted of a number of original manuscripts, as well as countless amounts of memorabilia. Following on from the fire, we was then lucky to be able to start rehearsals at the rehearsal premises of the co-op band, thanks to the generosity of Jeff Sparks. And later that year, we was able to secure our rehearsal place, which is where we currently are, at Bradwell Hall in Sandbach. So this year, I celebrate my 30th consecutive year as principal cornet with the band. It's been a privilege to have led one of the world's most famous brass bands during this time. Hopefully, there's still a few more years left in me playing wise. We've got a number of exciting recording and Arts Council related projects to look forward to, as well as generating a number of new heritage material for our heritage website, and also developing a museum of Foden's band artefacts over the coming years. Thanks to the generosity of the Heritage Lottery, we're currently in the process of recording personal memories. This is to save memories and stories from ex and current members, so that these are saved and preserved for future generations.